Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Nephaleus and I am the co-creator of Multiversus. As we unveiled last time, the first official fighter for this fighter pass will be Scooby-Doo. And as I mentioned last time, the way this is going to work now is I'm going to do an extensive breakdown on each character, including movesets, costumes, stages, music, and any other goodies I may want to add. Now the reason why this took so long is one, I was trying to figure out a good format to do this and I finally settled on a good formula. Another thing is that Hanna-Barbera single-handedly wanted me to watch every piece of Scooby-Doo related media out there, starting from the 1960s up to present day. So if I decided to nerf Scooby-Doo in the near future, it's because it's a personal vendetta. Screw you, Hanna-Barbera. Now before we get into the actual synopsis, let's go over who Scooby-Doo is. Scooby-Doo is a talking dog who is part of Mystery Incorporated, who's best friends with Shaggy Rogers and other members, including Fred Jones, Daphne Blake, and Velma Dinkley. As their name implies, they solve mysteries, whether they include real or fabricated monsters. As for Scooby-Doo himself, he is one of the most charismatic and charming members of the gang, but at the same time, he is one of the most frightened characters out of everybody next to Shaggy, and is also admittedly a coward. With this in mind, he's probably the bravest member, however, because he is on the front lines first and foremost whenever they need to capture monsters, whether voluntarily or not. Oh, and did I mention his affection towards food and Scooby snacks? Yeah, that's a thing. Now that you have a good idea of who Scooby-Doo is and how he functions, we can get into the concept pack breakdown, starting with his moveset. Remember that the three core traits of Scooby-Doo's playstyle is that he is a coward, he is sometimes clumsy, and he is a team player through and through. Here it is in all its glory, and if I hear a single one of you laugh, I will nerf Scooby-Doo. If I hear a second person laugh, I will take him off the roster. If I hear one more person laugh, I will make him an NFT. Do not try me. Or maybe if you like and subscribe, maybe I'll consider leaving him on the roster without nerfing him. I'll be the first to tell you that art is not my forte, game design is my bread and butter, but I feel this would be the best way to illustrate how the moves are going to work and how they are going to look. Normally I would have one stick figure per move, but if you look at the throws and the down specials, you'll notice that there's some extra characters. We'll get to those in a second. I will list off the move, what purpose it serves, and the possible reference if there is any. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's start off with the movement options. His idle animation will have him sit on all fours, occasionally licking his paw or checking his collar. His walking animation will have him strut forward on all fours, as any other dog would. His run animation will have him claw his way into the floor and strut himself forward as hard as he can, reminiscent of the earlier cartoons, with sound effects included that can be toggled on or off. His jump animation is similar to any dog jumping up, standing on his two hind legs and propping himself upward. However, his double jump animation will have him clawing his way upward as much as he can to gain more altitude. Now let's move on to the basic attacks. The dash attack, Tumbleweed, will have Scooby-Doo trip over his tail into a cartwheel position, making for a good combo starter. His jab attack, Tail Slash, will have him headbutt the opponents twice, followed by cowering in fear and having his tail flail away at the enemies for a multi-hit attack. The forward tilt, Headbutt, will have Scooby-Doo lunge forward and pummel the enemy with his skull. The down tilt, Tail Swipe, will have him scoop the enemies from underneath with his tail. His up tilt, Up Dog, will have him headbutt the opponent upward in the air instead. Speaking of the air, time for some airborne attacks. His neutral air is Cartwheel, which will have him stick out his arms and legs and spin around in a circular fashion. His back air is Buck, which will have him drop kick any enemies behind him, making for a good kill move. His forward air, Tail Jab, will prompt him to close his eyes, followed by hitting the opponent with his tail several times in quick succession. His up air, Roar, will have him bark as loud as he can at any and all opponents above him. His final attack, Night Strike, is his down air. He will put on a Black Knight helmet, cock his body back as far as he can, and slam it downward, making it a good kill option. Now let's head to the ground real quick to talk about the smash attacks. His side smash is called Over There, where he will strike a position in the direction that he is facing. This is similar to how in the old Scooby-Doo cartoons, every time he got a Scooby snack and the gang wanted to know what direction to go, he would point in that direction with great force. His up smash attack is called Terraphobia, where he will jump upward in fear with great force and scoop any enemies beside him. He may be a loyal dog, but he's not the bravest. And finally, his down smash, Snack Attack, where he will drop Scooby snacks and turn around in a clockwise motion to sweep the ground and clean them up. This will allow him to hit enemies on both sides. However, he will hit opponents in front of him first, followed by the opponents on the back. It's time we start to get experimental. Up to the special attacks. His first attack is the neutral special called Upchuck, where he will barf out a Scooby snack with great force. A special attribute about this is that if you reflect it or knock it back towards Scooby-Doo or Shaggy, they will automatically eat it and gain back health. This, however, will be useless against other players who decide to take on Shaggy or Scooby. Scooby. The side special is called Skate Strike, where he will get on a skateboard and ram any opponents in front of him. This is a callback to the first Scooby-Doo movie, where Scooby and Shaggy get trapped in a barrel and they have to skateboard through a toy factory. Down special is called Imprint. Scooby-Doo will lick the target, whether that be the ally or the opponent, and the resulting effect may vary. If he licks his team members, they will slightly get a boost in speed as well regain a little bit of damage, but if he licks an opponent, they will get a little bit of damage over time. From here, Scooby-Doo players can either do one of two things. They can either let the effect run its course and run out, or if players use down special while the effect is still working, Scooby will get himself into a barrel and fire in the direction of the imprinted target. This can either be used for follow-ups on opponents or to teleport to an ally for backup. The last attack is called Rocketeer, where Scooby will transform into a rocket and fire in any direction he points at. This is a reference to the intro for A Pup Named Scooby-Doo after he eats a Scooby snack. Now that we've covered all the standard moves, it's time to move on to the grabs. Scooby's grab and hit attack is called Dog Chomp, where he will bite the enemy and headbutt them for further damage. You may notice a tiny little silhouette on top of him. That's because that is his nephew, Scrappy-Doo, who will help him out with his grab attacks. The forward throw is called Puppy Power, where Scrappy-Doo will lunge into the air and punch the opponent backwards as hard as they can. His back throw is called Tasmanian Twirl, where Scooby-Doo will spin so fast that a mini tornado will form for a few seconds before throwing the opponent. A little nod to our favorite Tasmanian devil. The down throw is called Get Ahead, where Scrappy will pin down the opponent instead, while Scooby-Doo pulls out a zombie head and slams the opponent with it. This is a little nod to Zombie Island. The last throw is called Puppercut, where Scrappy will uppercut the opponent with great force. But of course, we can't end off this move list without the coup de grace of the entire set, the Final Smash. The Final Smash will be called Mystery Incorporated, where Scooby-Doo will be driving the mystery machine and slam into the opponent's head on. And in the back seats, you will see the mystery gang cheering Scooby on. Now, if you really think that you're a very good Scooby-Doo player and maybe want to show off, we got some taunts for you. The first is a classic. It's called Scooby-Dooby-Doo. The title is self-explanatory. Scooby-Doo will howl into the air as he recites his famous catchphrase. His second taunt is called Snack Time, where Scooby-Doo will flick a Scooby snack into the air and catch it with no problem, licking his face afterwards. The final taunt is called Remembrance, where Scooby-Doo will pull out a red scarf and rub it gently. This is in reference to Amber, another dog that Scooby met in the Alien Invaders movie. Even though he was never officially given the scarf, we feel it would be a good callback. That covers the entire first half of this video. We've covered all the moves, their sources, and inspirations. Now on to the other stuff, the cosmetics. As you can see here, Scooby will start off with 8 costumes, get a stage, and have many songs included. We'll break each one down one by one. Costume 1 is his classic birthday suit with the iconic blue collar. Nothing unusual, just a standard look. Costume 2 is Scooby-Doo with a red collar, which is reminiscent of the Cyber Chase movie, where he met a digital copy of himself, along with the other gang members. Number 3 is Detective Scooby. This is reminiscent of the fact that not only is he part of a detective squad, but he's also worn this outfit in many different iterations. Costume 4 is the Fright Hound, where a robotic version of Scooby-Doo was made, only with red glowing eyes, sharper teeth, and a way more aggressive demeanor. Costume 5 is the Ace outfit, where Scooby-Doo wears the bat costume of the retired dog of the Batman, Ace. As a little Easter egg, if you wear this costume while fighting any DC related characters, it will have some interesting lines to share with the mutt. Costume 6 is Granny Doo, where Scooby-Doo wore a grandma outfit in the live-action Scooby-Doo movie to travel on a plane. Looks pretty convincing to me. Speaking of the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, Costume 7 is called Groovy Doo, where Scooby-Doo sports an 80s style aesthetic outfit. And if you wear this outfit and use taunt 1, he will say hello baby instead of Scooby-Dooby-Doo, as a callback to the movie. The final outfit, Costume 8, is the most unorthodox one, taking inspiration from Scooby Apocalypse. Scooby Apocalypse is a DC comic series in which a virus takes over the world and the gang has to get together to solve the mystery as to what happened and what the cure is. And let me just say, look what they did to my boy Scrappy-Doo. They put that man on some roids. But anywho, back to the video at hand. Now, no Scooby-Doo setting is complete without a stage. Introducing Crystal Cove. Crystal Cove will have you fighting on top of the decayed structures of the city, along with many monsters making appearances in the background. In the background, you will see many of these monsters either chasing or running away from the Mystery Incorporated members. And if Shaggy is not in the battle, he will be in the background as well. Same thing with Scooby. And now, onto the final topping of this giant content pack. the song selection, and I am happy to say that we have 45 songs. These songs include, but are not limited to, TV soundtracks, movie soundtracks, video games, remixes, and any other piece of Scooby media we could think of. Now we have some classics in here like the OG Scooby-Doo Where Are You theme, as well as a medley for many different themes throughout the series. But for those of you of any culture, we also have some of the movie soundtracks, including some songs from the Hex Girls and the Zombie Island movie. And that's it, that's the entire pack. You can get all of this for $4.99, or you can get it with the Fighter Pass for $24.99 if you wish to do so. Now, I like to think I'm a god of game design and making content, which I am. Have you seen me? But I will say many of you guys actually have some really good ideas, so I'm making a new section called Comment Credits. This is the part of the video where I shine light on some commenters that not only post some great ideas, but also come up with concepts that I can't even think of. This can either be due to my limited knowledge of the franchise that I'm dealing with, or just thinking of something completely out the box that's actually really unique and fun. And the only two that right now have this spotlight on them is IdeaBox 9000 and Truth Love Hope. Now, if you look back on my original Fighter Pass Direct video and look in the comments, they post a ton of great ideas, everything from movesets, music, stages, costumes, the inspiration, the lore, and the references, and it is great. So thank you guys again for the moves, I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the next fighter announcement. But before that, I want to mention two things real quick. One thing is that if you're gonna suggest a character, please watch my Multiversus Everybody Is Here video. Any and all characters that appear in that video are not gonna get their own dedicated one, unless if everybody, and I mean everybody, asks for it. And another note is that if you want your favorite characters in, or have some ideas for potential moves, costumes, music, stages, etc., please leave them in the comments and I may pick it and give you some credit. With all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the next fighter announcement, and as usual, please have yourselves a damn good one.
Darkness took me, and I strayed out of thought and time. The stars wheeled overhead, and every day was as long as a life age of the earth. But it was not the end. I felt life in me again. I've been sent back until my task is done.